And as I open my eyes to this beautiful world, it is my privilege and my pleasure to say, Happy U.S. Flag Day, beautiful people. I am Reverend Vicki Jeter, your minister for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you for being with us on this June 14th of 2026. We welcome all paths to God. We welcome your challenges and your questions. All pieces and paths of spirit, all areas of life, and all parts of ourselves are essential to a world that works for all beings. So whether you're here with us for the first time, yay, or if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you've been with us from the very beginning, we thank you for being with us because you are why we are here. Today happens to be Hat Day, you might notice, because Reverend Carolyn is at the helm of our message today. And the message is, I was made for loving you, which we will be hearing much more about that later in the service. I'm switching things up a little bit this morning because we have a very special dedication to the reality that today is Flag Day. And so I want to begin with opening prayer right here and right now. So I invite you all to take a moment, check in with yourselves, check in with your understanding of spirit, and see what brought you to be with us today. Landing in that space, individually and together, of the stillness which is the point of first cause, where there is zero separation between ourselves and source. I recognize one life, one love, one infinite presence that is eternally and everlastingly emerging as all that is. There is no other. And as the all is the all is all I am. As the all is the all, it is all of each person within the sound of my voice. And from this alignment in mind, heart, and soul, I open this service. I open my personal mind, heart, and soul. I invite each person to open in mind, heart, and soul in community with each other, which allows us to uplift everything about where we're starting from to receive what is received today individually and yet collectively, cumulatively, taking everything to a higher and greater good than we could possibly do individually. And blessing our speaker today, Reverend Carolyn, knowing that her insight on recognizing that I am here for loving you is something that recognizing will open the hearts and minds of everyone who hears it to bring peace and fulfillment and healing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God, for all of this and more. I release it, I let it be, and so it is. Now, today being Flag Day, we have a very special inspirational video in place of opening song. Flag Day is celebrated to commemorate the adoption of our American flag, which was actually done on June the 14th of 1777. Now, if you think about it, you'll recognize that 1776 is like the big day for 4th of July, right? And I asked myself, I said, so that is almost exactly a year later. So why is Flag Day not like on July the 4th? If you look it up, it was the Second Continental Congress, like the year before, 1776 is the First Continental Congress. Well, it took them about a year. They were using the current flag, but they hadn't actually dedicated it. They hadn't actually said, okay, we're going to officially declare that this is a flag of our new nation. That happened on that Second Continental Congress, which happened to be June the 14th, and that's where they left it. So June the 14th is Flag Day, And this is the 249th birthday of our flag because of that 1-year designation. You know, this is the 250th birthday for the nation once we get to July the 4th. And so this is part of the story of the development of that symbolism. And now I'm going to invite Vernon to play our inspirational video.
I'm the one that they're singing about. Yeah, I'm the Stars and Stripes forever. Star Spangled Banner. You can call me Old Glory, but let's just keep it simple. Just call me Flag. Oh, say, can you see? Okay. Little flag humor. Well, you probably don't recognize me. You say, who is that, Evel Knievel? No way. Yeah, you see, you can't recognize me because
I'm in my birthday suit, yes.
I'm wearing the original 13 here. Yeah. I remember Miss Betsy sitting there going,
Oh, this could be the start of something big. Oh, Tom, don't be a pain.
yes. I was born June 14th, 1777. That makes me a Gemini. Unpredictable, crazy. Yes, I like the outdoors, and I'm the life of any party, whether it be Republican, Democrat, Independent, Socialist, anything libertarian, I'll be there. You know, I'm 204 years old. People say, Flag, how do you stay so young? Is it jogging? No. Is it tennis? No. It's waving. You know, we're talking about billowing, furling, and unfurling. Richard Simmons, eat your heart out. Yeah, but it hasn't always been easy for me, though. I had a tough puberty. Yeah, war, famine, invasion. And 1861, well, I had a little skin problem that broke out into 34 stars. But now, well, little patience, and look what we got now. Look at this. Hold on here. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! 50. Everybody's on here. Look at this. Alaska. Hawaii. Yeah, we got your Tennessee. How are you doing today? Here's Vermont. You can't get there from here. Oh, and there's California. For sure, totally. Like I said before, you know, I had a tough time for a while. I've been in a lot of wars. They fired missiles and muskets at me, but you know, come the dawn's early light, I'm still there. You know what I'm talking about? And you know, I've been made into everything from designer jeans to t-shirts, and I've even been a cape for Mick Jagger. Well, all right. The rocket's red glare. Well, all right. But people haven't always been respectful to me. Sometimes it's been tough. There have been some people try and spit on me, trample me, burn me. Foreigners and occasionally some Americans too, but I don't let it get me down because I'm not a stay-at-home kind of flag. You know, I've been to Europe. I've been to both North and South Pole. I was at Iwo Jima. Recently, I've even been to the moon. You see me in all sorts of different postures. When I'm like this, that means everything is okay. When I'm upside down, well, put on your Mae West and hit the deck. But when I'm like this, well, that's not my favorite position because, well, that's half-mast. I don't mean to bum you out. I didn't come here to depress you. But I gotta tell you something honestly. I haven't been getting out much lately. I guess it's not very chic to put up the flag anymore, you know. Muffin and I have a flag, but we haven't found it for very long. Hey, but look at it this way. Don't look at it as saluting me. Look at it as saluting yourselves. You know, hey, I'm just a flag, a symbol. You're the people. If I may say so from here, long may you wave.
Oh my gosh, so inspirational as well as funny. He's just so humorous. Thank you for that. Now it's time for our announcements. We have our men's group on Thursday. It's the first and third Thursdays of the month. So that'll be this next Thursday on June 18th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Men, you're welcome to come and join. I know my husband and other guys really enjoy just getting together. And next Sunday, we'll be celebrating Father's Day, and our own Reverend Vicki Jeter will be speaking next week on Higher, Deeper Love. What's love got to do with it? And Reverend Vicki, I know if there's anything else you want to say after I say this, the next in-person gathering for dinner is going to be at the Olive Garden. You'll see the address there. And if you have any questions, you can call Reverend Vicki. I hope y'all local people enjoy. Wish I could fly over from Texas.
That was plenty thorough enough, my love. And I think the next slide will probably say even more. Oh, no, we'll do this one first. So
On
since
Wednesday,
go ahead, Tammy.
Wednesday's Wistful Wisdom. That happens every Wednesday, 11 a.m., again on Eastern Standard Time. The men's meeting, as well as the Wednesday's Wistful Wisdom, is on this same Zoom you're on today. And it's just like a social hour, and you just come and enjoy some conversation. Please save the date. We're going to have our annual homecoming in-person gathering. This year, it's going to be Labor Day weekend, Saturday, September 5th, and Sunday, the 6th. You're welcome to call Joan or Vicki for any questions. And we're kind of just doing where September 4th, Friday, is more of kind of like a travel day. You can check in or just kind of hang out casually. And then there'll be some events. Saturday, I believe we might do men's and women's groups, something like that. And then Sunday have one of the meals together like we did last year.
Just a little clarity. That was very good, Tammy. Definitely men's and women's groups on Saturday. And just putting it out there, this will be for everyone. We're looking for a nice place for the guys to gather on Saturday afternoon. The location that we had last year is not going to be available. And so, that meeting is going to go from about 2 to 4:30 Saturday afternoon. And it's just for the guys. If anybody has any good ideas about that, don't hesitate to let us know. And then Saturday evening, we'll go to dinner. Very likely at the Olive Garden again, because they really have the space that we need and the menu that we need that's got special considerations for dietary needs. And then on Sunday afternoon, the treehouse will be open. We'll be meeting at Joan's house once again, as we have the previous 2 years, to spend the afternoon together, and it's potluck. So there we go. And there's some other little things we're developing, but not ready to announce.
Yeah, so we hope whoever can join us will come on over for the reunion. And back to you, Reverend Vicki.
Thank you. And absolutely on that point, if you plan to come to homecoming, regardless of where you live, whether you're local or whether you're coming in from out of town, please do let us know, because it helps us know for planning, like how many seats for dinner. And if there is anyone that needs assistance with maybe a place to stay kind of thing, we want to be able to help you. And so we need to know what's going on with that. Even if you're not sure, if you're aiming for being here, let us know. Thank you, Tammy. I'm going to take a breath here, shift over. It's a different field of energy. So for our financial update so far in June, of course, our regular budget is $2,550. So far this month, we have received $1,073.19, which leaves us a balance that we need to receive by June the 30th of $1,476.81. The one thing that I want to enlighten today, first and always, we are so grateful for everything you all give. We are such a vital community, and we're just really learning how to do this balance of knowing that Spirit sources its works and how we work with that on a human level. If you are intending to give, and that hasn't happened yet, if you put a check in the mail, give it 10 days to the end of the month, because the U.S. mail is an interesting thing, and it's very, very, very helpful for us to receive those checks within the month that we need it in, because that really affects how the board navigates getting our bills paid and all of that kind of thing. And anybody having any questions about how to give to this center, please contact either myself or a board member or a practitioner and ask, and we'd be happy to help you. And thank you very much.
Say after sharing for sharing time, if you'd like, after our benediction, we like to just kind of hang out and talk with each other.
Now shifting over to a few declarations, laying the foundation for the message of the day. We start with our purpose. I do encourage you, if you're so inspired, to say this with me. The purpose of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living is to be a vital hub of beloved community. We learn and practice care and creativity for the gift of life as vessels of oneness, a synergy of spirit, soul, mind, and body for all beings. From that platform comes our mission and vision. Our mission is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God, which manifests our vision of a world that honors and respects all people. Now, the application of what we believe that is dovetailed to the message today is: love is as love does. Love is an act of will, namely, both an intention and an action. Will also implies choice. We do not have to love. We choose to love. And that is by the Venerable M. Scott Peck, whom some of you may recall wrote the book, The Road Less Traveled. And with that, I turn this over to our practitioner of the week, Miss Tammy Ellis.
It is my honor to be your prayer practitioner of the week. And for today, for our sacred reading, that's going to come from our Science of Mind, Centers for Spiritual Living, the monthly guide for spiritual living. And this reading and the meditation is going to be by Reverend Dr. Sonny Cantrell Smith. Love calls us to authentic expression. Love calls us to express our authentic selves. All too often, fear, comparison, or self-doubt holds us back from speaking and creating what matters most. But love dissolves self-judgment and opens the channel for genuine expression. When we let love be the source of our voice and actions, life becomes a vessel for divine communication. Today, listen inwardly to what wants to be spoken or created in your life. Perhaps it is a word of encouragement for someone, a creative project, growing quietly in your soul, or a simple act of sharing with another that brings you joy. Love invites rather than pushing or forcing. When we allow our voice to arise from love, our words resonate with truth and connect hearts. This expression nurtures not only our own fulfillment, but the fulfillment of those who receive it. It reminds us that our unique perspective matters, that our gifts are not random, but purposeful, given to us to bless the world in our own rhythm. Let love inspire your expression today. Let your words be clear, warm, and true. By sharing a kind word, finishing a creative piece, or offering help, you reflect the divine spark within. Let each act of expression be an offering, a sacred thread woven into the tapestry of life. Now, if you'd like, we're going to go into meditation. I'm going to read some statements that you can think about and allow into your heart, your soul, your mind, and just see which ones resonate with you. And if you'd like, as you hear each one, you might consider who you can share each one with. Yourself, your neighbors, your family, your friends, your furry friends, or your any kind of animals that you have in your life. And just enjoy hearing these beautiful affirmations. Love fills me with peace. I rest in spirit and respond to life with calm clarity. I connect with love through the beauty of nature. Spirit's presence embraces all life and awakens my heart. I accept myself fully. I am a beloved expression of spirit, deserving of love and belonging. I allow love to heal and restore relationships with myself, with others. With compassion and presence, I choose unity and peace. I act with love and purpose. My actions contribute to justice, unity, and healing for all life. I contribute love to my community. Each connection amplifies unity and compassion locally around me, my neighborhood, my city, my state, my country, the world, out to the moon and out to the universe. Love transforms me. Each moment I align more deeply with spirit, with higher power, as I understand my own divine source and step into my divine destiny. I celebrate love today and always. Joy and love fill my heart and radiate out to others and into all aspects of my life. Let's take a few nice deep breaths in and out, just contemplating on what you would like to keep for yourself from those affirmations and allow them to continue to work in and through you. Another nice deep breath in and out. And another one as we transition now from the meditation. Deep breath in and out. If you'd like to just wiggle your toes, move your shoulders, just kind of move around a little bit. And you can just say to yourself, I am grateful. And so it is.
Thank you, Tammy. As ever, that was so, so lovely. Just going to give us a minute before we dive into the next thing. Because I would like to invite everybody to make a little shift. For those of you who are not yet aware, Miss Reverend Carolyn is actually the founding minister of the center as a full-fledged center for spiritual living. And so we have a very special place in our hearts for her. And she, back when she was at the helm, she knew that celebrating birthdays is a very, very important thing to do. So she is the one that actually launched us into what we now do in this about the second week of every month. We honor birthdays. But actually, tomorrow is Reverend Carolyn's birthday. So, in honor of Carolyn's birthday, Vernon, would you please? Happy birthday, Reverend Carolyn. It says, happy, happy birthday tomorrow, Reverend Carolyn. So much fun at today, and to add a little special celebration, we love you, your LCSL family. Now, Next comes our special music, which when Reverend Carolyn and I were orchestrating for the day, and I was working with Melba, this is the best place for special music to come today because it will weave into the message. And Spirit really brought this about very, very beautifully. We're going to turn this over to Melba for just a moment so she can say just a little bit about this song.
Thank you, Reverend Vicki. Back in 2008, I decided to record one of my favorite songs that I grew up listening to in church. I've always found it to be soothing, with a beautiful tune, and it's all about love. So here's the recording of my singing the melody and the harmonies, changing a few words here and there. Here are the first two verses of In the Garden. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the love of God discloses, and God walks with me and talks with me and tells me I am God's own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. God speaks, and the sound of that voice is so sweet. The birds hush their singing, and the melody that God gave to me within my heart is ringing, and God walks with me and talks with me and tells me I am God's own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
Good morning. This morning has been very special. I appreciate my happy birthday celebration. I celebrate life in the knowing of the next year has come and gone, and there's another one right in front of me. Some of you know that I am a liver transplant survivor, and so every year is one I might not have had, probably would not have had if my daughter had not given me 60% of her liver. So that is an act of love. And that's what we're going to be talking about this morning, is things that are love, things that connect us, that give us that opportunity to connect to the wisdom and the joy of life. So the title of today's talk is I Was Made for Loving You, and you were made for loving me, because that's what we're all about, sharing love, sharing experiences, and supporting each other. Thank you, Vernon. The song that Melba sang when I was a young girl, 11, 12, 13, I took piano lessons. And one time my music teacher said, you pick a song that you want to learn and we'll work on it. And so I asked my mother, what is your favorite song? And she said, In the Garden. So I learned to play In the Garden so I could play it for my mother, and she would come and sit while I played it in the living room. And so that experience, that song, is one of the touch points in my life that say love. That was a time when I did something to express my love for my mother, and she expressed her love for me. And so that's one of the memories, points of my knowing connectedness, love, which is what it's all about. So this morning, I'm going to talk about different ways of connecting, different ways of recognizing love and preciousness and connectedness with something other than ourselves. So I want to start with a quote from the materials that the National sent to me to use this morning. Spiritual life is first and foremost about commitment to a way of thinking and behaving that honors principle of inner being and inner connectedness. When we choose to lead a spirit-filled life, we recognize and celebrate the presence of transcendent spirits. Some people call this presence soul, God, the beloved, higher consciousness, or higher power. Still others say that this force is what it is because it cannot be named. To them, it is simply spirit moving in us and through us. One of the principles that we basic to our belief and what we share is that spirit is everything. Spirit is everywhere. It is every time, ever present, ever powerful, ever expressive. It's it. And so we recognize, when we are aware, we begin to recognize all of those points of interconnectedness, of inner being that we have. And so I'm going to share today the number of times when that has been expressed and invite you to think about those times in your life. I found a website that I will be using a lot, I think. It's called dailyinspiredlife.com. And it's all about stories. And as a speaker, I'm always looking for a story. And so I found it and have found a couple of stories. The first one I'm going to share with you today is by Ellen Aconcio. And she, like many of the writers, has a book. And she shared the story back in the 1996 or so. She had an experience of going to a presentation, an event, to swim with the dolphins, to be in the pool with the dolphins. And so she was standing on a ledge inside the pool, and the dolphin that she was interacting with would come up and swim around her. And at a signal from the trainer, that dolphin came up right in front of her, pushed water, almost knocked her over, and got right in her face and leaned over and kissed her. And she's looking straight into the face of this dolphin as it leans over and gently touches her, kisses her. She was blown away. Now, that part of us that wants to discount everything said, oh, it was just trained. It was just doing what it was trained to do. It wasn't real any of it. But the truth of her, the part of her that knew that this had been a special event, kept saying, no, this was more. She was looking straight into the eyes of the dolphin, and she was right there in that presence, and she felt the connectedness between that being and herself. That recognition and appreciation between two beings. And it affected her. And it's something that all these years later, she still talks about with great reverence. That story reminded me, oh, Vernon, let me have the first slide and then we'll go to the second. I get my slides mixed up sometimes. Have you noticed that? uh, let me, oh, wait. Oh, that's not the one I thought it would be. Okay. Love. We do not have to love. We choose to love. And that's by M. Scott Peck. So it is a choice that we make. We can choose to go through life and not connect and not be aware, not recognize and remember, or we can choose to love. Thank you, Vernon. And that's something to be aware of when we know that love is a verb. It's not static. It's a power. And we can use it and we can recognize it and we can receive it into our lives. Love. It's not limited to an act. It's not limited to anything. It is another name for spirit. Spirit is everywhere present, all powerful, all the time. So is love. It's another name for spirit, constantly, always aware. So this story that I told you about the dolphin reminded me of this. Vernon, the second slide. Many of you will recognize that this is Tracy, my daughter. And this was taken a number of years ago. Tracy had the opportunity, she took the opportunity to work with dolphins, to be a trainer. She worked in both Corpus Christi and Philadelphia for a number of years, working with the dolphins. It was it still is a great passion in her life to respect such a beautiful species. And so she got the opportunity to train, to swim with them, to be with them, to share with them, and to love them and let them love her. And what a wonderful experience it was. This was Nani and Tracy's picture. And it's something that I treasure, and I know she does too, because it shows how much she loved what she was doing, how much she was involved, and what that great opportunity is. Thank you, Vernon. We all, through our lives, have connected with animals at one time or another. Some species. Some of us because we have pets. Some of us just because we live life. And there have been moments of connection. I just truly believe that. And I invite you to think about it and see if you remember those moments. Because a lot of times we just discount them and move on. But maybe it was seeing a red bird in spring and that bless us and inspire us. Maybe it was being I can't think of the name of it. Oh, chipmunk. I was on a mountain in Seattle, and we went up to the top of this one of the rest areas, and they have chipmunks. I've never been around chipmunks, and so I was just fascinated with all these little animals running around. And one of them ran up in front of me and stopped and looked at me. And I'm looking at this little tiny chipmunk and thinking, okay, yeah, I see you. And I realized that he saw me too. That was a connection. That was a love connection. And I know that you've had those things if you think about them and can bring them back into your awareness. We connect with other people. I'll admit that I'm a very private person. I have been to conventions and workshops, a bunch of them, because in my spiritual journey, they fed me. They helped me to be deeper, to know more. And so I would go and enjoy all of it and come home and desynthesize and be sorry that I lost what I had in those moments. But there was one moment I have never forgotten. We were in Colorado. We were in a very large room with very large windows, and there were over 100 people there. And we were invited to pair up, two of us, not to know each other at the beginning. No, don't pick your friend, pick someone you don't know, and we're going to share. And so they asked us to do that, and they gave us things to think about and questions to ask. And the woman that I was with shared at such a deep level from the get-go. She shared her heart, and it was powerful. And it brought out in me the ability to share my heart. I can't tell you what I said, but I remember that I was raw. I was open. I was deeply sharing with another human being where I was and what I was thinking. What a deep connection. What an expression of love. So as I say, I invite you to look at your life and review those times and think about the times when you were truly connected to something, some person, some animal, anything that might be. The next story I want to tell you about is Julie, and hers was an interconnection with the Dalai Lama. She went to a gathering, and this was a number of years ago, and there were 200 people at this gathering. A lot of times when you go to see the Dalai Lama, there are thousands of people. The time that I saw him, it was well over 1,000 people. And, there's not really a lot of connection. But in this room, and when he came in, they created a path for him. So they divided the people and gave him a path to walk through to the front of the room. And on that path, Julie ended up on the first row. He would pass right by her. And she was there just because that's how it worked. And she's waiting for the Dalai Lama to come. And everybody else is too. And there's a man behind her who has a bouquet of flowers in his hand. And he is pushing them over her shoulder, yelling, "Your Holiness, Your Holiness, Your Holiness," and waving his flowers all around. And she stood there and she thought about his passion and his energy. And so she decided to step aside and step behind him so that he would be in a direct line that the Holiness would see as he came through. When the Holiness came through, he stopped in front of the man, but he didn't smile at him. He reached across his shoulder and squeezed her shoulder and smiled and then went on his way. When he had spoken, he was talking about Tibet and the conditions there. But when he had spoken, they did the same thing. They created an aisle for him to leave. So he's coming down the aisle and she ends up in the front again. And so she's standing there waiting for him. And the woman behind him is yelling, "Your Holiness, Your Holiness," and waving at him and just, and so she did it again. She thought, this woman is so passionate, I can give her my spot. And so she did. She went behind her and let her be in the front. So Your Holiness is coming down and she's yelling like everybody else. A lot of other people are. And Julie is just standing there smiling at him and so excited to be in his presence. He stops in front of the woman that's screaming. He reaches across her shoulder. He squeezes Julie's shoulder and smiles directly at her and leaves. That's a connection Julie has never lost. That was a moment of truly being in the presence of someone and connecting with them in such a wonderful way. When I hear that story, I think, how aware was His Holiness? How present was He to recognize the woman standing behind the woman standing just in quiet appreciation for the moment, for being where she was and doing what she was doing. And in the presence of a person who could recognize her spirit, and reach out. Wow. Connectedness. What His Holiness did, we too can do. Whatever anyone has ever done, we too have the capacity to do. So we can learn to be present, learn to be really aware of the people around us and connect to their energy and respect it and recognize it. And so that's a great challenge, a great wonder that we can and are called to do that very thing. Let me have the last slide. Love is a common denominator. It speaks 1,000 different tongues, but always emanates from the same source. That's from Ernest Holmes. Love is a common denominator. It speaks 1,000 different tongues, but always emanates from the same source. Love. It's what you are. It's what I am, whether I recognize it or not, express it as much as I want to or I could. It is what I am, and it is what you are. Love, the connectedness, the support, the experience of being with whatever it is that's around us at the moment. That connection, that appreciation for the life that we live, for the life that we're gifted with. It is. Thank you, Vernon. Oh. I want to close with affirmations of truth, with knowing the truth of who we are. And so in this moment, I recognize spirit, love, oneness, the wholeness of life. I recognize that this presence, this power is in each of us. It is each of us. And we stand at the ready to appreciate it, to express it, and to be it. And so I set my intention for you and for me in the week to come to experience and to know love in small ways, in large ways, in all ways. Recognizing, accepting, and expressing the oneness of all. And so I breathe. I invite you to breathe. And I let it be. Knowing that as the word is spoken, it is done. And so it is.
Carolyn, thank you so much. Thank you for the very specific examples of love. It helped remind me of some of my own beautiful memories of that in my life. And now we're going to move to our prosperity, affirmation, and giving time. Your love and support are so appreciated. It keeps our wonderful community, thriving and growing. We gratefully accept your credit card or debit card. You'll see the copy of the information in the link in the chat over there for paying PayPal or Zelle online, or you can mail your check to Louisville Center for Spiritual Living, P.O. Box 43958, Louisville, Kentucky 40253. And now for our June Prosperity Clarity. If you'd like to say this out loud, we'll say it all together. I believe the love of Spirit is forever flowing through me. I know that the expansive creativity of Spirit is expressing through my finances abundantly. And I pass to Reverend Vicki for blessing of our gifts.
With a heart of such gratitude, I present our little multiplying basket before the altar of God, knowing that everything that we have to give is received as the fish and the loaves and multiplied to be given out to all who are seeking. And if I be lifted up, lift up all unto me. Thank you, God. I let it be, and so it is.
And if you'd like to say this with me also on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, we are magnificent. Please enjoy our closing song by wonderful Karen Drucker, There Is Only Love.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's the love that heals, the love that sets me free. There is only love. There sets me free. There is only love. 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 There is only
Love is all there is. If you so choose, say with me our benediction. Divine Spirit, Mother, Father, God, ultimately we shall see that the universe rests on the shoulders of love, that God is love, and that all the errors of man are the result of ignorance of his own true nature. An evolved soul judges no one, condemns no one, but realizes that all are on the road of experience, seeking the same goal, and that each must ultimately find his home in heaven. Dr. Ernest Holmes in Science of Mind.